could be a very, very fatal mistake. I like how he is staggering his tanks so that if one goes down, the other ones do not go down immediately right afterward. They can still get a couple of shots. Oh man. This just shows how desperate Nozza is to get an expansion at this moment. Using Hellions to take out the destructible debris, definitely not the best use of those Hellions, or the easy. This is going to take forever. Just look how little damage the 5 Hellions are doing to these rocks. Definitely want to be using the tanks or marauders or any kind of heavy hitting unit like that, because the debris are actually armored structures and they have 3 armor, plus the Hellions only do, I believe, 10 damage to any unit, so that's like what, 7 damage that they're doing per shot. And this supply depot looks like it is going to burn down unless Nozza reacts now quickly. It is going to go down, but I do not think he is focusing on that. He's, oh man, look at this placement. This tight placement is perfect. Wow, I'm just completely impressed. The Terran couldn't see right up here, up the ramp. He couldn't see. If he had placed it down here, he would have been sieged to death. But because he placed it just right above the line, he was able to take out one of the tanks. But it looks like he's provoked the red player, and the red player is not happy that he got sieged, dropping in here with all his forces. But look at that, the Vikings doing their job, taking out the medevacs, completely nullifying the infantry, and this guy is gonna have to retreat with his army. That's, excuse me, I almost choked myself here, so much action going on. They are saying, let's get the hell out of here. And can you say hell on YouTube? I hope that's like rated PG-13. I am terribly sorry, guys. If you are under the age, I apologize. I know there's sometimes foul language on my language. I will try to block that. It's something that I had forgotten to do, and I will try to put the filter back on. So if there is any kind of, you know, bad-mannered words, you guys are not being exposed to that kind of filth. Anyway, excuse me, enough of that talking. I am gonna take a drink of water because I am choking up here. Excuse me. Alright, hopefully it doesn't look like anything went on. Looks like the red player doing here a pretty smart thing. He's trying to get some map control, so he wants to lock in the Terran as much as he can. And blue, I mean, Nozza really can't expand. Is he just... He's still trying to take out these debris. Oh man, this is so bad. I think he should be using at least one Viking or a tank or something, but this is why he cannot afford it. If you saw one of my other videos, I think it's an introduction to the Terrans, I talk about this, which is basically the state of TvT. You get a lot of Vikings and you get a lot of tanks, and whoever has more Vikings is able to survive the Viking battle, which allows the tanks to be able to see farther, and therefore siege the incredibly long 13 range siege. And oh man, this is perfect timing by Nozza. He knew what these Vikings were trying to do. Now that he doesn't have any anti-air in the air, he's very susceptible to these kind of Viking drops. They're gonna go ahead and here and see this tank, these 2 tanks sieging, and gonna say, we are out of here. We did the damage that we need to. Seeing that there's expansion is here, and Nozza moving these Hellions in here. Although I don't know if that's the wisest decision, considering that there are 6 Vikings. They could probably take on those Hellions fairly easily, even in ground mode. And wow, leaving his front door exposed here. I am not quite sure. Was he getting sieged? Looks... He might have done it because this was within the range of siege, and now that those Vikings are up there, it is definitely a vulnerability. So I gotta say, Nozza did a very, very smart thing here, if he did indeed do that on purpose, to move his buildings from here and just leave the defensive perimeter with the tanks. What else is the red player up to? Oh my goodness, he has double expanded by this point. This base is fully mining. Well, not fully mining, but it's about halfway there. At least the gas is fully mining. And actually, Nozza not doing too bad himself. I guess the gas are just barely going up. But it looks like a little bit of a push is going on here. No, sirree, these Hellions are trying to escape right through the infantry army and the tanks and everything that is up there, stopping here to take out one Hellion, but it looks like he should have just ran right back into the base. These tanks flanking over here and the infantry flanking over there, being trapped into the supply depot, well, definitely not a very good thing to do. I mean, it's definitely something you want to try to do, try to harass a player, especially when you're contained like this. But you got to be really careful, guys, because Nozza just lost like what, 5 Hellions, I think, and not for much gain. And right now he's really gas deprived, guys. Look at his minerals. He's got more minerals than he knows what to do with at this moment. But he needs the gas. He needs the gas for the tanks. He needs the gas for the Vikings. And really, oh man, this is so scared. If you're a Terran and you have no Vikings, and your opponent has like 6 Vikings, that is definitely a tricky position to be playing from, I am not gonna lie. And it looks like these medevacs again preparing for another drop, gonna be sneaky, but it looks like these turrets, Nozza fighting something to do with his minerals, his excess minerals. Even a siege tank sieged up here. The only thing is that he does not have range over this cliff, and this siege tank going up here, he's gonna start shelling the SCVs, and you want to move these as fast as possible because these are prime targets for the siege tanks. And once the splash damage starts kicking in, it's gonna be a disastrous for you as a Terran player, or any player really. These units still in the medevac again, guys. I mean, you got all these Vikings and you know you're defended, but in any other situation you really do not want to have these units just chilling there in those medevacs. And what is going on here? Oh my goodness, it looks like Nozza has taken this chance to push out, but was it a mistake or not? I think I'm not sure. I mean, this tank's definitely gonna shell a lot of damage to these tanks if they try to go here. One thing he could have done is trying to go for a flank, is split these armies up so they don't take as much splash damage. Let's take a look at this expansion, forced to lift again. Oh man, this is probably not a very happy day for Nozza. He cannot be having fun at this moment, trying to deal with this harass. Another tank being taken out, and he's even long distance mining from the gas. Not sure if he forgot to take that off the gas or if he just is desperate for the gas. I would think with 500 gas he's probably kind of forgot about it, which happens, guys. It happens to everyone. In the heat of the action, Nozza actually being super aggressive. This is almost unprecedented, being this aggressive when you got units right on the back of your base. But the red Terran probably knows that our tank, siege tank. Oh man, there's only one tank right here. Could he push this if he wanted to? Wow, he could probably land the Vikings right on top of the tank, but then there's this turret here, and then there are 2 tanks now. I don't know, it's kind of a tricky situation to be playing from. And oh my goodness, pushing right up here with the tanks. One thing, guys, ooh, whoa, I just saw a tank blow up, and it looks like we've got another tank over here dealing some damage. One thing I wanted to say, guys, if you do not know, tanks actually, when it comes to buildings and single units, they do damage faster unsieged than they do sieged. So if you're going up against buildings, you're going to destroy them so much quicker by using non-sieged mode than siege mode. For example, these Vikings are going to land right here. Look how quickly, 2-3 shots, they're done. This tank done. These SCVs actually stand a chance, and that is why Nozza is trying to retreat as much as he can, because if these tanks get surrounded, there is no way for them to get out. But what is going on here at the Nozza's base? He is being dropped by Banpei. Banpei is pretty much, I mean, there's not much mining going on here, but I'm pretty sure he took quite a few SCVs out with that little attack right there, with that little drop. Not sure if that was worth just letting those Vikings get taken out. Maybe he's a little bit too distracting. What's going on here? Looks like Nozza just barely able to survive that SCV rush and dealing some damage here. I would think that he really wants to go for the Tech Lab at this moment to nullify any more tanks coming out, and possibly Banshees. That is one thing that the Terran Banpei could do here, is lift this starport, excuse me, and land it on the Tech Lab and start getting Banshees, which would completely obliterate tanks, which is all that Nozza has at this moment. One Marine being a hero, Marine saying, hell yeah, oh, I'm dead. Oh man, it's always fun to watch the little Marines explode in little giblets. Anyway, PG-13, right guys? Looks like Nozza here going unchecked. What does the red player have to respond in with it for this? I mean, he has a lot of minerals and gas. Oh man. I gotta say, red here, not keeping up with the macro. This is what happens, guys. You get tanks all up in your face, and they are blowing up your stuff left and right. One Marauder here being able to sneak out, and oh wow, it looks like they got these 2 siege tanks, which are keeping Nozza just at bay. Because actually, he could probably afford to move a little bit up and start sieging these tanks, since he has the longer sight radius. See, Nozza can't see those tanks, but those tanks can see Nozza. Well, you just gotta float the barracks off a little bit. And what is going on here? I see a blob of blue units moving. It is just a couple of tanks being defensive. Looks like Nozza somehow has just barely taking the advantage. I mean, pretty amazing if you ask me. This command center being a ninja command center, trying to sneak out of there, saying I need to start mining somewhere where I can't be seen, but really, oh man. Perfect game sense. Nozza, being the diamond player that he is, just knew that he needed to be scouting for any possible ninja stuff going on around here. And pushing in with more tanks. Oh man, does the red player have any response for this? Looks like he's done what I was hoping he would do, is build 2 more factories down here, put a couple of tanks. Is this going to be enough to take out these tanks? No, it does not look like it is the case. Bampei in a lot of trouble here once again, having to use his SCVs to take out the tanks, but I really don't think, even with the medevacs healing them, which, guys, that is so OP. Medevacs are supposed to heal, like, you know, biological units, and how biological is an SCV, really? Look at that little machine drilling thing. That makes little sense to me, but wow! I must eat my words, because... Did I just see this right? Did I just witness this right?